Welcome to today's explainer. Look, I am absolutely thrilled to guide you through this material today because we are going to completely reframe something you probably use every single day with your dog. We're talking about the sit command, but we're moving way, way beyond treating it like some basic party trick or just, asking your dog to put their bottom on the ground. By the end of this explainer, you'll see sit as literally one of the most powerful tools you have for shaping your dog's emotional control and brain development.
Okay, let's dive right into this. We usually think of sit as just a physical position, but the reality is much more fascinating. It's actually a fundamental reset button. When we ask a dog to sit, we're really helping them pause, think, and actively shift their state of mind from high excitement or anxiety into a state of control. It's the ultimate foundation for focus, and honestly, it's a brilliant way to interrupt impulsive behavior.
So here's our roadmap for today. 1. The mental reset button. 2. Step-by-step daily routines. 3. Marker words and timing. 4. When sitting causes strain. And 5. Common mistakes and troubleshooting. We're going to cover both the psychology and the practical step-by-step mechanics today.
All right, section 1, the mental reset button. We're moving beyond a simple physical position here. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what's going on in your dog's head. On one side, you have reaction and excitement. This is that state where dogs are overstimulated, anxious, or acting purely on impulse. On the other side, you have thinking and control. When you ask for a sit, you're demanding that your dog's brain switches tracks from that chaotic reactive state over to a focused thinking state. You really want to look for that shift in their body language too. Ears relaxing, weight shifting backward. That shows they're ready to think and engage. You're giving them a reliable cue to check back in with you. Using the sit command actually interrupts the cycle of building arousal and anxiety. When a dog sits, it physically slows down their nervous system. But here is the most incredible part. Consistent use literally builds the prefrontal cortex of their brain. That's the area responsible for decision-making. By practicing this, you're actually improving their physical capacity for impulse control over time. It's like a gym workout for their brain. And for a nervous or reactive dog, this becomes a completely safe, neutral place to practice calmness.
Moving on to section 2, step-by-step daily routines. Applying the mental reset in real life.
Now that we understand the deep mental benefits, we really need to look at how to apply this mental reset in the real world. Look, dogs absolutely thrive on predictability, and everyday scenarios are the perfect opportunities to use sit as a reliable reset button. First up, thresholds. Having your dog wait at doors, gates, or before jumping out of the car prevents that impulsive bolting. Then there's mealtime. Waiting before being released to eat builds incredible self-control. Polite greetings are huge too. Asking for a sit means they're waiting for permission to interact rather than just, jumping all over your guests. And finally, the leash routine. Asking for a sit before clipping or unclipping the leash sets a calm tone for the entire walk. It's all about creating safe, predictable behavior structures. All right, section 3, marker words and timing. Clear communication for better results. Now, this is where your mechanics as a handler become absolutely critical. Having great timing and clear communication is the secret to getting reliable results without frustrating your dog. We break communication into 3 simple steps. Step 1 is saying sit. That's your clear cue to ask for the behavior. Step 2 is using the word good. This is your duration marker. It tells the dog they made the right choice and they need to stay in that exact position while you reach to reward them. Now, if they break position early, use a calm no to interrupt and just reset them. And finally, step 3 is yes. This is the release cue, meaning the dog is now completely free to move. Using these exact marker words consistently just removes all the guesswork for your dog. But here is a trap almost everyone falls into. Repeating the cue. Do not do it. When you rapid fire sit, 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 you're actually causing confusion and just creating background noise. Give one clear cue. If you repeat it, you literally remove the dog's opportunity to actually pause, process the request, and make the choice to comply. Give the command once and just give them a second to think. Let's look at section 4, when sitting causes strain, understanding physical limitations and safety. We really need to be highly empathetic to our dog's physical realities here, because the sit is naturally meant to be a short duration command. The ideal duration is really just 15 to 45 seconds. For sensitive dogs, like growing puppies with developing joints, large breeds carrying more weight, or senior dogs, you absolutely must keep sits even shorter. What's really interesting about this information is the sheer physical strain it puts on a dog's joints. Extended sits place a massive amount of unnatural pressure on a dog's hips, knees, and lower back. If you need your dog to stay still for a longer period, you should immediately transition them to a down or a place command. So, 60 seconds is your absolute maximum limit. No exceptions. If you need more than 30 to 60 seconds of calm from your dog, you must move them out of a sit and into a down or place position for their own physical safety. We've got to protect those joints.
Finally, Section 5, Common Mistakes and Troubleshooting. Adjusting for physical and emotional needs.
So why do some dogs hesitate or struggle with sit? Look, if things aren't going perfectly, don't worry. Challenges are completely normal, and as handlers, we just need to know how to adjust. If you've ever found yourself frustrated asking, "Why is my dog hesitating?" or "Why are they struggling with something so simple?" you are definitely not alone. But the answer is rarely that your dog is just being stubborn. There's almost always a valid why behind the hesitation.
To really understand what your dog is experiencing, you have to look at both the physical and the emotional side. On the physical side, a dog might hesitate because of puppy joints, or perhaps they're a long-backed breed where sitting is just physically awkward. Or they might just have a weak core and tight hip flexors. But look at the emotional side, because this is huge. For a nervous or insecure dog, sitting forces them to expose their belly, creating real emotional vulnerability. Watch for visual cues of anxiety, things like lip licking, a tucked tail, or whale eye. If you see these signs of hesitation, recognize that it's valid. Meet the dog where they're at, rather than forcing the issue. To keep your training strong, let's rapidly fire through some common handler errors to avoid. First, never pull up on the leash to force a sit. This removes the mental work entirely and causes physical discomfort. Second, be careful not to reward the dog after they stand up. If they pop up and you give the treat, you just accidentally rewarded them for breaking the position early. Always reward the calm settlement. And finally, avoid asking for a sit when the dog is completely overwhelmed by their environment. In those moments, a lower pressure command like down or place is a much, much better option.
It all comes down to this core philosophy. Keep sits short, clear, and purposeful. And always follow with a release so your dog learns that structure is a two-way conversation. It's about mutual respect, right? You provide the clear boundary, and you also provide the clear freedom when the job is done. So, I want to leave you with this final thought. How will you reframe sit from a basic command to a powerful tool for your dog's emotional control today? Next time you're at the door or holding the leash, remember that you aren't just asking for a posture. You're building their brain, you're improving their focus, and you're guiding them to a calmer state of mind. Take these step-by-step routines, apply your marker words carefully, and just watch your dog transform. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy training.